Hi, everybody. Time management is very key to the success of every and any entrepreneur. My name is Loveline Bassi. Today, I want to talk to you about time management as an entrepreneur. It is so key that it could actually cost you money and clients. Now, for my fellow Africans, can I just use this opportunity to say that African time is not a thing? Okay, let's use an example. If I promised you $1 million and told you to show up at 10 o'clock and I'd give you $1 million, would you show up at 11 o'clock? Of course not. Why? Because you want that million. And that's why I know African time is not a thing. So let me give you an example of myself and my time management. I am the kind of person that doesn't like meetings before 10 o'clock in the morning. People that know me and people who have worked with me, especially recently, will know that. So 10 o'clock is a good time. And I've really told people that, listen, meeting 10 o'clock. If it's 10 o'clock, we're good. And I make every effort to get there by 10. If for some reason, I don't get there, maybe because there's an unexpected traffic, I always message beforehand. So listen, don't use traffic when there's no traffic. Don't lie about traffic. Just say you're late. Some people just use traffic lie as a lie. Don't do that. Most people know you're lying when you say traffic. So plan your time better so that you can get more out of your day as well. For example, don't watch Netflix, don't play video games, don't play games when you should be more productive. I've got nothing against Netflix. I watch Netflix, but I would not replace my productive time with a Netflix show. I'm not getting paid to watch that Netflix show. If I was getting paid, then I'd, use it wisely. So a few tips I want you to know, or rather a few things I want you to know, is that when you miss a deadline, you could actually lose a client. So when you are late for a meeting, you leave a bad taste in people's mouths. People don't want to do business with you. Maybe you're supposed to deliver at a certain time and you miss that time. Then they're looking at you like you're not a serious person. So if for one reason or the other, again, if you're going to honestly miss it, let people know beforehand. If it's something beyond your control, again, let them know beforehand. Poor planning is not great because when you plan poorly, it's going to cost you more money. Especially those of us that do business across borders. We know this. Exchange rates are a thing. Just yesterday, I had to submit a document online, and lo and behold, the rate that we applied for with that document initially was actually higher, and now it has come down, which is you don't really see that. Usually it's the other way around. I wasn't late in this was the right time to submit that document, but it was just an example of how different times can affect exchange rates. So when you're doing business across borders and you are subject to exchange rates, you have to note that exchange rates will likely not favor you. So which means you have to plan better. You have to plan better. Now, this is not discounting that sometimes we don't have the money to plan ahead of time. We cannot buy the stock ahead of time because we don't have the money to do that, or we cannot get certain things in time to offer a service. Maybe we need equipment to offer that service, things like that. Sometimes it's flights. Have you ever bought a flight ticket 2 weeks before the flight time? Let me tell you, it's way more expensive than 2 months before the flight time. I know, because some of my tickets tend to be bought so close to the time because of things like last minute things that come up and stuff. But when you plan properly, you can save yourself a lot of money. Now, when you're distracted, it also affects your time management. And you know what? Distraction can really slow your growth. So be careful what you're distracted about. I mentioned Netflix, right? Yes. If you're watching TV instead of doing something you should be doing, that's time for growth that you're wasting. So make sure that you also know what your time costs. Moneyfy your time. Put a money amount to your time. I have an hourly rate, and I tell people sometimes, I joke about it, listen, I have an hourly rate and this thing I'm doing is wasting my time because my hourly rate is going. I do not make that money in this hour. Now, someone might say I'm being too money centric, but let me tell you, my bills have to be paid at the end of the month. So it's not about me loving money aimlessly. It's because I need the money to meet obligations, and I need the money to live a better life. Money makes the world go round. It's just the way it is. So if you are an entrepreneur, one of the reasons you are an entrepreneur is to make money. So don't shoot yourself in the foot with bad time management. Seriously, why would you do that to yourself? So manage your time better. And whenever you're watching this video, I want you to think about, what are you not managing time for? Because sometimes it's because you don't consider it a priority. You don't consider, maybe there's a meeting you're supposed to be at, but because you consider that meeting lower in priority, you don't go early. You don't go on time. So be careful about that, because when you're perpetually late for something, or to meet up an obligation, or to meet up with a client, it means that you don't value them. And it also means that you don't value the money or whatever it is they're bringing to the table. So, my fellow entrepreneurs, my fellow business people, what are you waiting for? Plan your day better. Time management is key to making sure you protect that money. That's why we're doing this. That's part of why we're doing this. This has been Lovelyn Bassey, and all the best with your time management. Cheers. Have a good one. Bye.